Hello and welcome. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. What are we doing tonight? It's Wednesday. Well, if you're watching this on live. If you're not, then it's Friday. But that means it's Dungeons and Dragons. So, if you like the thunderstorm in the background, that's Ambient Mixer. If you like the world map, it's Wonderdraft. If you like the dungeon map, it's Dungeon Alchemist. And if you like the town map, it's Canvas of Kings. And I think that's everything we need to say before we start. So, we have our last participant. And here we go.
Make it seem like I'm going into an experiment.
Well, you did enter the Gem of World. It is kind of an experiment. It's a collective experiment. Okay.
An experiment on the collective.
That is also true. Forgive me. I am having difficulty talking because I'm extremely thirsty and I keep drinking.
You see, that's my secret. I'm always thirsty.
Yeah, we know. You really handed me that one.
I wish somebody would hand me something else, but
Well, now you're not talking to the right person. He's right next to you in the windows. All right. So.
hey Sam, be a bro. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, that was an interesting start. Hey, I don't have all of my books opened. Oh, yeah, of course. If I do that, we lose the camera. There you go. Okay. Now all the books are open. We got Almanac, that sheet. Here we go. And we got Terry's stat sheet. Here we go. So, what happened last episode? We don't need a thunderstorm anymore. Alright. So, last episode, the party went for a little shopping spree. That's right, it started with a little bit of buying and asking for a new object. Money was spent, objects were commissioned, and hopefully all of this will make their lives a little easier, if not a bit more fun. Then came the preparation for the oddest and, in a way, the longest quest they will ever do. Is that television?
I didn't. Not mine.
I can swear I heard television inside of my... Okay. Apparently I'm overworked. So, longest quest they'll ever do. They are prepared to spend 1,000 years inside of a gem of worlds, so a powerful sword would be purified and become a tool for good. Of immense power. I sound like an AI the way I read that. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. So. Yeah, and for those reading this on the D&D Beyond, the end was as we see, join us as we see how our adventurers handle living together for 1,000 years as they watch all they build grow, turn horribly wrong, but hopefully end up good in the end. All right. Okay. Oh, don't tell me we're starting with this again.
Uh-oh.
A little sputter in the... okay. So, last episode, this was what the world looked like. Audience, you threw a sword inside of there, and you went into this peaceful and cozy little world. 27 years had passed since everyone migrated there. So, with the exception of humans, halflings, and probably dragonborn, not a lot of change. Elves, gnomes, dwarves, even halflings, they have a much longer lifespan. So for them, 27 years is not a lot. Their community didn't grow a lot, but the others, they did. And because of that, a lot more humans, a lot more dragonborns, and a lot more tiefling than there were in the beginning. Audience, you got to meet that little world of yours. Well, you all did, because you decided to go in and, start meddling with things. One thing you realize is that Tobiyashi left behind a little surprise. He created a group of people. You're not sure if it's an actual race or not. They look humanoid, but they're extremely secretive. They always keep skulking about, hiding amongst everyone else. When no one is looking at them, they just look like humanoids wearing really baggy clothes, trying to stay out of sight. But they do mingle and they do interfere. However, they always interfere to the best of their knowledge for the better good. The greater good, I mean. But only in small ways. Nudging someone in the right direction. Oops, someone's lost. They leave behind a little copper on the ground. That person looks down, sees the copper, and decides to go that direction because of that. They're also the main reason why, audience, your cult inside of there did not become a major power. Because they are single-mindedly determined to hinder them in every possible way. So they make sure that when they try and do something, the truth is revealed. If they manipulated events, everyone learns about it. If they twisted the truth of what was happening, they make sure that everyone knows. You also learn that he brought others in there, Tobiyashi, as you find a rather impressive statue of, albeit slightly different person, but you look at her face and it's a beautiful, angelic representation of Temptress. It's hard to remain indifferent to her in the way that she is represented. even for you, Remy, even though you're not attracted to her, you can't simply deny the fact that she is stunning. Everything about her seems too perfect. Tall, proportions exactly like those little magical numbers of those who wants to always put the best showgirl in front. Even her statue is charismatic.
Look, even the gays worship Beyonce.
Okay. So, yeah. Then comes the rest. So, the first, I want to say, decade goes by rather rapidly because you'll have a lot you want to do. And there's a lot to do to make it possible. Damn it. I'm gonna have gone through 2 liters. 20 minutes.
Let's get out our calculators. How many liters can we consume in an hour?
More than I have in reserve. So, audience, you told me that you want to populate that temple. Create a better version of your religion. One that lives up to what it should have been, according to you. And you want to create this temple filled with people with the best of heart, the best of intentions, to protect the sword as it's being purified, but also to be the force of good that you wanted your religion to be. You also have a unique opportunity by traveling in non-corporeal form to spy on your religion, see the other one, the bad one, to see how they operate, what they do. How do they grow so big with so bad intentions and no one realizes it? Fisher, well, you're mostly there to support your friend and audience because you're concerned with him. You know, he is at the point where he is the most vulnerable. He could go back to old habits. He could fall apart. He could overinvest in what he's doing. Make it his entire life, and if it fails, that's going to be even more disastrous than what happened. You also have Terry that you care about, that you don't want to just lose sight of. And you've expressed a desire for a group of people to take up the life of fishermen. Make a culture of it. And Remy, well, you have an island to build. It's just that little thing. You know, absolutely nothing. Nothing at all.
Just another Wednesday.
Yeah. You have an island to build. And once that's done, you want to instill a little chaos within the lives of those who live on your island. Nothing bad, prank level stuff. But also you want better care for those who do not have a home, the orphans, who might have lost them for whatever reason. Because even now, as you look at this world, 27 years old, it has already gone through one conflict where Audience's old religion and Tobi's, as they've eventually started being known, confronted one another. One indirectly, the other quite directly. Many families found themselves with one less family member. So, you already have reasons to look and see, well, I want to make sure that those who do not have parents anymore, like you, do not have the life that you had. So, you have quite a lot of work. Terry wants to explore the world because he knows that whatever he does, he is practically untouchable. He can watch things on a scale that he will never have the chance again. So he's quite curious about everything. The first few decades come and go really fast. Audience, it is a chore every single day to bring in people, to evaluate them. The process of reincarnating yourself in this world is quite simple. You just think about it hard enough and you take physical form. The reverse takes a little bit more time and a little bit more practice, but essentially, if you die or if you go to sleep wanting to go back to your other self, your body will die and your spirit will be released. And you will once again be able to float around. So you do a little of both. Watch people, try to bring them to the temple. In general, you have an easy time of convincing people, letting them listen to you, with the passive persuasion that you had last episode. You can convince almost anyone of anything. So it's more a question of realizing that it's easy to abuse that and maybe hold back from time to time, just to make sure that things go according to plan and not too well according to plan. But bringing in people takes time. You find worthy souls, but worthy souls ready to give up everything, devote themselves to a cause, go to a temple that's isolated in the mountains, that's a little bit more difficult. But you do succeed, slowly, years after years, more and more people come. Also, as the months go by, people start recognizing you in the towns. It takes a few months, but eventually you find yourself at the moment where you are asked questions which you were hoping maybe not to answer. Eventually, one person realizes and tells you, "Are you? It's a human. Are you? Are you audience?" If not, is he an ancestor of yours? I didn't think. I didn't think you were supposed to be in here.
Um. Yeah, I'd probably respond. Yes, I'm audience. I'm just keeping an eye on things for a little while.
Some people react well to this. Others bring you questions, which makes you more uncomfortable than anything else. One halfling asks you the question, what happened with the others? My parents, they said that we'd all be reunited. They were part of the group escaping through the gate at the bottom of the castle. Did they make it?
Um, Audience would probably respond. I don't think
Sam.
many people.
Really?
What?
Does
Oh.
Sam remember the answer to that question?
Yes. Yeah, audience would probably respond. Unfortunately, not that I know of. I don't think many people made it out of that castle.
The harder part is dealing with the various response to this that you get. Some people understand. It was a difficult time. They knew that all of these options may not work, and they accept what you said. Others start blaming you. You were supposed to be there to help us all. Why did you just help some of us? My brother didn't get selected for this. It's a halfling that looks at you. My brother didn't get selected for this. He was supposed to go through the front gate with the third group. Why didn't you help them? He fought for you. He fought with you.
I helped who I could. In a siege like that, not everyone can be saved. It's how it is.
Some people understand when you say this, but some don't. It happens more and more throughout the first 10 years. And slowly the rumor spreads that you are here. No one really knows how you move about so quickly, but one day you're in one place and then 3 days later you're at the complete opposite of this map, although you can walk it in a day and a half. No one saw you on the road, but you have your own way. With time, the Dragonborns, though few in numbers, they all seem to want to join your temple. And you have an influx of Dragonborn. Very young ones, ones that are reaching their 40s and 50s, out of a sense of loyalty. You know Dragonborns. If they can do good, they will. And the moment they start learning about the temple that you're building, that you want to create a force of good, they feel drawn to what you're building. And it doesn't take long before a small town starts building around the entrance of the temple. As the year goes by, the temple eventually becomes the temple city. You also get to see how your religion handles things. That's more heartbreaking to you because you see how well they've compartmentalized everything. The first line, those that are not aware of everything that happens, they are those like you, the faces, the charismatic people, there to help everyone, to spread the word that they are there as a force of good. They would never allow anything bad to happen. It's even more heartbreaking because you can easily see yourself in many of them. The way you acted, the way that you didn't question anything they said. Investigating this a little bit more, you realize how they do it. They take their time. They find people who will easily believe, who will feel welcomed by what they're saying. The second line are those with a morality that helps them do a little bit more. People who naturally tend to go for, well, you should always stay as best as you can, but only fools never break the rules. Sometimes you gotta break it because people making rules are stupid. So if you're stuck always having to follow this, you'll never get anything done. And besides, the enemies aren't following the rules. So eventually they're going to get you in a corner and you'll have to break it. So you're a fool if you think you can just stay straight like this all the time. Those who have this mentality naturally, they are shown something slightly different. They are given things according to this belief. And you see your religion testing them. And you recognize the way they do this. That you recognize it because you've lived it. Subtle ways. Taking you out on a hunt and making you aware that there's another group. You're supposed to be in competition with them. It's the best one wins. Nothing bad's gonna happen, don't worry. And then they give you the clue that, they are in difficulty. They haven't eaten in a few days. And you have an abundance of food. And they just look at how you all react. Some decides to go give them food. Some decides to, no, this is the test. They're not doing well. That's their problem. And then you realize, yeah, I went and gave them food. And right there, this is how they knew that you'd be one of the faces of this. The good ones. Those nobody would ever question. You will always do the right thing. And then there's the third layer. Those who genuinely believe that the ends justifies the means. You need monsters to fight monsters. They will go all out for the cause. They are easy to convince that this needs to be done. being outside of this physical form, you understand more the concept that you've heard and that you never could actually see very well with the people around you. This concept of people being good, being evil, being somewhere in between. This concept of law, order, and chaos, and not there. Somewhere between. But now, as you're looking at everything more through the eyes of a demigod or a minor god, you understand this better than before. Those who are good, they're never shown the deeper side of this religion. Those who are neutral don't care whether they're doing good or bad, good or evil. They're given a variety of things. Those who are evil, they're kept hidden. They're taught to show compassion, but always in return for something. They're taught to manipulate, to convince people, to take, to sacrifice some if they need to. Among them, you recognize what everyone kept saying about green dragons. They're the foundation. They give orders to those who have flexible moralities, which in turn they give orders to those who have unflexible inflexible moralities. Like you. The level of manipulation probably makes you uncomfortable the first few times that you see this. How everything is so layered that 2 layers above, they never know what's happening below. And they're only in contact with people that they feel like they're not doing bad. And okay, maybe they're drawing a bit outside of the line, but they keep in check. That's good. That's good. The level of manipulation is baffling. That's how they operate, always. They go toward vulnerable people, they convince them of the good, and they classify them through a series of tests. Most of them you recognize, unfortunately.
Okay.
Like first, trigonometry, followed by ecology.
Yeah. Then math. Pure math.
If you pass the test, you failed.
That's not wrong. It takes you time to discover everything about this. So this is why I say that out of everyone else in the group, you are the one that is kept the most busy. Finding all of this, influencing people, getting people to your temple, building the temple, and then people start realizing that you can actually help in subtle ways. And then you get people that starts praying to you. While you're in corporeal form, you can't hear them, but while you are in spiritual form, you can hear their prayer, asking for guidance, asking for the answer. Some people will ask you anything for anything. But some actually ask you profound questions. They're doubting reality. They're doubting decisions. They feel like the mayor is taking decisions which are not for the betterment of the settlement. To whom do you answer?
To whom do I answer? Audience would try and answer as much as he could. He would try and, that's what he would. He would try and help out situations where he could. He'd try and create peace, create harmony, create the things he's always kind of wanted to see in people, help for the common folk. Where he couldn't help, he'd probably, once he'd built up followers, he'd try and start to subtly send followers to those villages to try and help them or appease issues. And kind of what he'd always desired was for, to actually have a group of people that would go out and help the common person, to help people with these solutions, these resolutions, to be able to kind of resolve conflicts such as these in a peaceful and, way. And those that, he couldn't, once he had a following of people that he trusted, he'd probably start sending them out to do that.
How often would you do this in corporeal form? Because in corporeal form, you have limitation. You can be killed. You can use your powers, your magic. Well, once you reconnect with a god. But
yeah, I think that he would probably go at a decent amount in corporeal form. I think he'd want people. I mean, one of his whole tenets of what he's always believed of his religion is there should be something physical. There should be someone you're relying on, someone you see, something that actually, brings the assistance, not something you just hope for help that maybe answers, maybe doesn't.
Okay. Audience just doesn't have faith as a concept.
No. No, he doesn't.
Audience subtle? Is that a word he knows? Because
his whole tenet of his thing was he wants people to see a physical form of something, come and actually help them, and be able to rely on a physical form instead of on know that there's something godly about that form, but also know that it's there's someone actually there.
You see, we call that object permanence.
Audience is a big believer in object permanence.
If it's not in front of me, it doesn't exist.
Well, that's the thing. Being a person who has the ability to either be corporeal or spiritual, you realize how much more influence you can have as a spiritual being. Because you can soothe people, you can influence them when you talk into their dreams, the way you've been talked into your dreams so often.
Audience doesn't have a lot of trust of voices and dreams for many reasons.
Okay.
Audience is like, people who talk in dreams are kind of fucked. I don't trust them.
Okay.
I don't trust them, guys. Yeah, no, but I think initially he would try and do as much as he could. He would probably use his spirit form to travel to different places just for travel time. But he'd try and show up. That would also probably give him of how the fuck did Audience cross the country in one day from one village to another. There'd be stories of why was he in this village one night and another village another night. But I I think, but yeah, once he had a following, he'd also really be a big proponent of actually not even going himself or like going for major issues, but really trying to get his followers to start going as individuals and help resolving these issues. And so people could start having trust, because he knows he will leave in 1,000 years, and he really wants there to be people that will continue to go after him and help the common folk with these issues.
And especially, that eventually there's a small cult that appears. They collect audience body left behind in towns.
Yeah.
You de-incarnate yourself and you reincarnate yourself.
Yeah. I think there's one body. I think the body just disappears. I don't think it's.
Yeah, no. I envision something closer to Yoda when he dies.
Yeah, he just turns into a spirit and then goes off.
No, he has to viciously kill himself every time to release his spirit from his mortal body.
That's actually Fisher's job.
Like,
Fisher
I hate this part.
Fisher gets known as the executioner. I just have Fisher come in and fucking behead me, and then no, I'm kidding.
Well, then let's go to the subject of Fisher.
That's a joke. I don't think Fisher would do that.
Oh, I'm sure he did at least once during the 1,000 years.
He said it was a joke. Fisher's like, it's not a joke to me. I take this job very
I've been
seriously.
waiting way too long for this.
You mean I can actually kill you without consequence? Fuck! Fisher. Well, following audience is a job on its own. Because he just keeps popping up. So it keeps you busy. Especially for, I'd say, the first 50 years or so. Because he is extremely busy building that temple. Getting followers, influencing people, learning more about his religion. And if you follow him, you learn the same thing about his religion, which is basically, it's so much worse than everything you ever thought. It really is a mastermind green dragon that was behind all of this, and everything's been so thoroughly thought out. It's methodical. It's mechanical. It's like following.
I hate how construct-like it is.
It's like following a recipe book, which you can appreciate. But also hate. But at least you can see that audience seems to be genuine in his desire to take them down, to unbuild them one brick at a time. He hinders them as best as he could, as best as he can. Although, with the number of time that he tries to do this, he often come in contact with the Tobys. So, there's a good relationship that develops with them. Although they're a bit more subtle than audience. So following him is nearly a full-time job. And it keeps you busy for at least the first decade. Eventually things starts to roll on their own, and audience seems to find a groove and just keeps going, and he hears prayers and he goes back, he de-incarnate himself and then hear more prayer and then go back to his temple, check in, go back out. He seems to have fallen into some sort of schedule. Go there. Today we listen to prayer. So you also get your chance to create what you wanted to. It starts small, because there's only one village close to the shore. Creating boats which can withstand the ocean, because no matter what you do, the ocean's going to have a climate that is a bit more unpredictable than land. So it takes a few years for ships to be built properly. But eventually it happens. And bigger ships are made. And fishing becomes something a bit greater. You know, there's always been fishing on the shore, enough to sustain this village. But as years goes by, this island that you're on develops more and more and more. There are more birth, there are communities that form, and actually the map that you see right now is what it looked like when you arrived. But as time goes by, this becomes the new island that you see. Villages appearing everywhere, becoming towns. A capital is formed. Dwarves create communities. Elves retreat to the northern part of the island. It grows. New village. New needs. Humans create the capital of Slibel. Dwarves creates the capital of Ulstervane. The elves, Oria. The temple, where audience keeps going to. It's a bit small for me. I'm gonna take the actual map. I'm having difficulty reading some of the names. There we go. That's a little easier. Heraclane. The temple city of Heraclane is founded. On the shore, Islas and Yertle becomes the center of this new empire that you're making. Close to the shore, they start creating boats. Islas, as it's growing, it was the first village, and for a time everyone thought that this would be the capital, but bad events happened later in its history, which is why Slibel became the capital and not Islas. But it became a very large town, and ships are made and sent, and exploring the ocean more and more. The culture of the fishermen eventually doesn't stop at just being, oh, it's the fishermen. No, it's the fishermen's. As in a guild, as in a group of people, expert at seas. Explorers.
No one else is allowed to fish.
Well, no, unless Fisher, you push this idea into your fishermen's. Which you sort of recognize the weirdness of it. You know, they're fishermen, but they're also fishers' men's, and they become the fishermen's. You got your own army? Your own oceanic army?
It's like, and their main rivals are the Fisher Kings.
Well, eventually, like you see, like I told you, they start asking for small islands, which they'd be able to use as shelters, refueling stations. And as Remy finishes building his island, fishermen also becomes the first ones to explore the ocean all the way to that island. And after a few more decades, they're the ones who are going to bring the first settlers. And for a long while, they are the masters of the sea. They are the one ferrying people around, on top of fishing, on top of exploring the sea, everywhere, always. Now you decided that giving them these little islands, you were afraid that piracy would become a thing. So you tried to influence them to creating better boats. Unfortunately, with that idea is there's only so much you can actually do to improve boats. And your attempts at pushing them to do better and always better creates a division in your fishermen. Some feel like it's only that you are whispering to them to become just better at this and be content with what they find and how good they can make their boat. But some feels like you're pushing them to go beyond what they have now. And so they start exploiting things from the old world. The arcane engine starts being developed once more. It's the only way to make a ship faster. At any point when I talk, you can stop me and say I would like to influence this in a different way. That goes for all of you. So the arcane engine is developed and they start using it. At first, it's just better ships. They go faster, they go further. But the arcane engine is a rare resource, especially on such a small island. So slowly there's a culture of wealth that installs itself. The wealthiest have the engines, the others have normal ships. And the divide keeps building because the wealthier fishermen start using these ships, but they start using it the way that it was used before, the fly. They fly to location, they stop, they fish, they fly back. They start bringing in more resource, they start selling more, and slowly these people are drawn to wealth. And unfortunately, Remy's island finds itself the wealthier of the two islands. So the original fisherman's becomes the navy of the first island, and the second group of fishermen's become Remy's island navy. After a while, there start being a conflict because wealth is pouring more on one island than on the other, while Audience's original island is more humble. Their founders remembered what war was. and they instilled that to their children. But those who migrated to the other island, there were those who wanted to explore. There were the new generations, and people, most of them, never knew war. And one day, war happens. After 300 years, the two islands enter into war with one another. Their only way to reach one another is the ocean, and the fisherman's becomes the first line. We're going to go back in time with Remy's endeavors. Remy, meet your island. Less mountains, more land. As time went by, vegetation took a lot of place. But vegetation can easily be cleared. You created the three large lakes of the island. One has Fisher's face. One has your three-legged raven. And the third one kind of looks like Audience's face. Yes, I did model a third one after a bronze dragon head. It took me an entire evening to make it. Remy, you never realized how difficult it was to create an island. You know, you had that moment of, yeah, it's easy. I just pour in the glitter and bam! Massive land. Then you start building the whole thing. And just like me, there was a moment where I was creating a huge mountain. And I didn't like the huge mountain that I placed at the center. So I removed it. Then I looked at it and said, you know what? It kind of looks better empty in the middle. So let's incorporate that. Remy, you were building this island. You were using the dust to put the mountain up. And of course, you were doing this, taking inspiration from a map that you saw in a book. It was a drawing that already existed. You were just copying it, trying to make it as best as you could. And then for some reason, your attention slipped. Damn it.
I like to think he sneezed.
Yeah, could be.
He literally blew some dust in a place he didn't expect to.
You sneezed. And when you look back, there was a mountain missing. You were just about to rebuild that mountain, and then the thought crossed your mind, you know, that's as close as I'm ever going to get to being creative, so I'm going to leave the mountain gone. Remy, for the first time, created something he'd never seen before.
Like, well, that's a win, folks. That's a win. We can go home.
To your delight, the port which received the place where everyone landed became a port, and to your delight, they named the port Ravenport. From there, everything built. And after 200 years, the map looks a lot like this one, and I just realized that I forgot to put the dwarves in there. So they're dwarves. They're just not easily to find. That's why they're not there.
Kind of like Where's Waldo, only
Um, because there's so much room for everything else, less mountain. Your island becomes prosperous a little faster than the other one. There's more room, there's more diversity. And come on, the town right next to your lake is called Talonsworth. What else can you say? You would have liked the capital having that name, but that's not how it happened. The capital was named Chastenbell. But there's an interesting mix of a lot of coastal village. So that movement that Fisher started with the fishermen really takes into your island. There's so much more access to the ocean on your island. And the wind blows through almost all of your island, making it... Oh, I know you're going to take this in a weird way, but still, I'm going to say it. It makes a more wet environment altogether, which makes it better for growing things. If you grow better things, then everything grows more easily. Communities, people are better fed. And for some reason, at one point, inside of that little gap inside a mountain, you realize that there's a village, a small town, with the appropriate name of Mudview, because you realize the entire area has become a swamp. But
oops.
it just happened. Not a lot of place for the water to sip out of this bowl, so it's always flooded. But people seem to have...
Wetlands are good for us.
A lot of mud mask in there. But there's a group of people living there. People who start adopting your way of doing things, adopting the idea of mischief as a way of life. It becomes their hidden town.
The village hidden in the mud.
Yeah. You have an impact on everyone on this island. The idea of mischief becomes more prominent, to the point of people starting to worship a little raven form idol with 3 legs. And there are people that like to do pranks of varying types. You become known as a saint patron of pranks, of mischief, minor mischief. Although one almost created a war on your own little island. It was one of those things that you never thought could blow up in this way. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and you just couldn't stop it. Fortunately, the Tobys helped you.
A literal prank war.
That escalated so much.
Man, it's a good thing that there won't be another war in 100 years.
Yeah. your island becomes rather wealthy, with a little bit of chaos on top of that. This, what's this? What's this sound?
It's really funny, guys. These guys have plenty of leisure time, but then also get a lot of shit done.
Oh wow, there's a refrigerator that's really making a lot of noise. Okay, at least it's not my computer. So,
Note to self: make computer out of refrigerator.
at least it's gonna keep cool. So, yeah. Prosperous island with a little bit of mischief. You become known as a saint patron of mischief. So people start praying to you when they want to get even with something or someone, as well as when they want to cheer up someone. So depending on what they want, they're going to ask for different types of pranks. And after that incident that nearly created a civil war on your island, you start being a little bit more cautious about which prayer you grant.
It's the Bruce Almighty situation. If you say yes to everybody.
So since people starts praying to you, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked audience. What is the balance of actually taking corporeal form and staying in spiritual form for you?
I think how it would go if Raimi is taking to the role that he has essentially been assigned. It's I think times that he spends in incorporeal form is more for inspiration. It's offering ideas, suggestions, things that he has learned.
So giving the example.
And the times that he spends in corporeal form is more when in times where he feels like maybe tipping the scales toward good is required.
Okay.
But he's always doing it in such a way where he's trying his best not to be seen while he's doing it.
Okay.
So basically in both senses being an unseen force.
A bit like the Tobys, but they do it for good, you do it for mischief. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, well, like when it seems like things are about to get out of hand, again, learning from the prank war, it's just like, maybe this plan deserves to fail. And it just move something slightly out of place.
All right. So, when your island starts getting wealthier and wealthier, and the fisherman starts gaining power, and your island having so many coastal towns, there's an impressive fisherman's navy that starts building up. Your island definitely has the advantage in terms of creating ships and having a naval strength that far outweighs the one of the original island. So after 200, 300 years of all of this, when the war starts erupting, things are not going well for the first island. your island gains ocean supremacy quite fast. On top of that, they don't have just ships that goes on the ocean. Because they're wealthier, they have a stronger aerial navy. And so slowly things starts to escalate to a point of really bloody and murderous war. And this is why the town of Islas was never became the capital, because it's the first line. It was destroyed over and over and over again. Eventually, what tipped the scale was audience's follower. They started praying to you, asking for permission to take part in this war, this senseless, stupid war based on a made-up resource of the people living in all of this. The other island doesn't even need to invade them. It's ridiculous. All because of a single ruler that saw the potential of gaining more power, of gaining the upper hand, and decided to act on it. So they feel like the cause is just, that they should interfere. And audience, they ask for your permission to interfere. They pray for this.
I think I'd give them... So I would probably give them permission to help the common folk and like help the island and try and protect the villages and people. But I'd also probably try and keep them from drastically changing the outcome unless the island was actually going to be destroyed.
Okay. So they venture out and they become this force of support. They start doing interventions in war zones, helping people evacuate, helping to heal people. Your priests become very busy. Oddly, but also not oddly enough, you started instilling a culture of paladins. And you have quite an interesting group of paladins. They go on the first line, trying to prevent it from pushing inland. But the other island's army is too impressive. Your island is stuck in a defensive war. There's just not enough land that they have control over to create a place where they can have an impressive navy. They are getting desperate, and the other island is not listening to their plea to stop this war. On top of that, you have to witness Fisher's creation endangering your creation. The war is pushing deeper and deeper inside of the first island. After a decade of war, Slibel is on the verge of falling. Most of the small villages are in the control of the other island. A few expeditions have been sent to your temples, but your followers could easily push them back. While the fishermen are not completely to blame, those protecting this island were overwhelmed after 2 years. Now the only fishermen are those of the other island. So, what happens at that point?
I
You are
think
all witness to this. Remy, your island, which was such a joyous place, entered into a war and they're winning. Fisher, your refusal to create islands created a divide, and those that you created turned on themselves, killing half of what you created, leaving only the twisted version of what you created. Audience, everything you've been trying to do is in jeopardy.
I mean, audience would get involved at some point. I think, like he'd try and find resolution to the war, obviously. But if there was no resolution to be had, he wouldn't let the original island be destroyed. He'd probably also ask that the others got involved as well to protect the entire
Fisher and
I know
Remy?
this sounds like a joke,
Okay.
but it seems like the perfect time for this power-hungry leader to choke on his food and die.
Okay. So working in the shadows to end this thing. Okay. Fisher, don't worry. It gets better at one point. I spent 4 days creating the entire history of that. Don't worry.
Like, because at least Remy figures that if there was enough instability in the leadership of his island, even for the briefest of moments, it might give the other island enough time to,
Okay.
it's like, recover and retaliate.
Okay. Fisher, what do you do?
I'm
So-
muted.
Okay.
Whoops.
I thought you were muted.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I was gonna say, Fisher's idea would have been much more blunt than Raimi's, so I think he ends up allowing Raimi to go with his instead of what was going to be his very direct approach of, if you can't use it responsibly, you don't get it anymore.
I mean, there is still that plan, and that's a great backup.
But I think he starts to sow that. Just the idea of, this isn't what the engine was for. Instead of being direct with it. Yeah, at least. And then tries to see how that pans out.
Okay. What is your passive persuasion, Fisher?
Not good. 9.
9. Okay. So, audience. Fish, you notice your friend's effort. While Remy seems a little weak in his hand, there is value in what he's doing, in a sense that if it doesn't feel like the gods decided to smite this person, there's less of a chance of this conflict escalating into a different one. But it's subtle, and it could take time. Fisher's approach, while it's slowly, month after month, building up, and there are some people who feels, more and more people who feels like this war is senseless on the other island. You have to come to terms with the idea that this is not enough fast enough. It may work, but it's gonna take a year, 2 years more for this to work, and you are maybe 7 or 8 months to the enemy's army reaching the center of your island. Fisher is just not that convincing, and Remy's indirect approach has made the ruler of the other island worried that someone is trying to poison him, to kill him.
I think he's dead. Correct me if I'm wrong, Remy, but I think he's dead. Was that not what you meant?
Yeah, that's why I say the other ruler.
The ruler of Audience's Island.
No, the ruler of Remy's
okay.
island, because someone tried to give him food which would make him choke on it. Of course, there are priests around, so it made it difficult. So he's growing more and more paranoid that someone's trying to kill him. Which on its own is not bad, because more and more people are starting to wonder if... Why are we at war? This guy is growing more and more insane every month, and we're following him? One way or the other, Remy's plan eventually is going to work. Either the guy is going to go insane trying to figure out who's trying to kill him, or he's actually going to die choking on food. But it's going to take a little bit of time.
I think if audience knew they needed time, because you said the main difference in force difference was the Navy, right?
Yeah.
I think audience would just buy them time. I think he'd literally, because we had so much deep dust left over. I think audience would just use the deep dust to basically destroy or create some blockage between the island and the ships to delay them until the time needed for the others to take effect would happen. Basically, without harming too many people, destroy the infrastructure, destroy the naval field so they didn't have the ships to cross the water and had to spend, months rebuilding their forces if they wanted to actually get their forces across. He basically cut off their way to get it across.
Well, you can definitely affect the this supply chain using the deep dust. If you start using this inside of the ocean, it's gonna get the ocean to materialize the fear of what is hidden beneath that most people have. You might actually end up creating a sea monster, which will be a problem because no one saw it coming. It would affect resupplying chains. It won't affect those flying in the air, but that's just another thing you can easily do. You can use that dust to create bad things in the air. Essentially, if you use deep dust inside of a cloud, and you're going to create a psychic cloud that just roams around filled with whatever you want it to be filled with. It can be filled with rage, it can be filled with fear, it can be filled with everything that lives.
I don't think I'd create a psychic cloud. I think I'd be more with the other one.
All right. So you use a little bit of dust and you materialize the fear of what lies beneath. They never saw it coming, and the line gets disrupted. Oh wow, really disrupted. The aerial navy becomes the only way to cross. No one knows how to deal with that sea monster. It just seems to appear, materialize, wrecked ships, and just fade out. Those who stop and try to fight it, it works for a little bit of time, but even if they beat it, it just comes back a few months later, and sometimes a few weeks later, and it keeps wrecking stuff. So, part of this work, and because the island is protected on any side except once, the aerial navy is having a lot of difficulty breaching this place. The mountains create a sort of barrier, but eventually they figure out where this is coming from, and they start heading for your monastery, your sanctuary. And Remy can tell you that because of all the time he's spending inside of that castle trying to drive the man insane, thinking that everything he ingests is poisoned, he's literally having everyone test everything twice. For some reason, he even asked to kill all the pigeons in the city. Well, of course, it didn't happen, but he was convinced that pigeons were trying to have him choke whenever he opened his mouth by shitting on him.
Oh man, that's an image.
We're starting to have the same difficulty with your camera. I don't know why. We're getting one image a minute. Your audio is completely fine, but we're getting one image a minute.
I mean, it might be useful for me to turn my camera off and on again. I don't know.
Okay.
It worked last time.
Yeah. Hey, we got two audiences. For a brief moment, we had two audiences. All right. And everything's coming back. Camera is trying to log on. It's probably not going to work because it's taking too long. Oh, yes, it is. All right. You're moving.
It's just sorry. I have a thing where I have to confirm my permission to use my camera.
Okay, well, that'll work.
Look, there are too many folks with that are too skilled at computers and too skilled at malware and what have you to take advantage of your cameras. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. So, audience, they're figuring this out. They're going to try and come for your temple.
All they have is their air force, though?
Yes, they're coming with a fleet of flying ship. more than 20 ships. Fortunately, Remy was able to warn you because he's always in the castle. But they've identified that if they take your temple, they may be able to influence you and control you.
Oh, you know what? Just for some extra fun, Remy is also going to start collecting more, like making sure that more cats and owls are like around this guy and on his path.
Mhm.
Two animals known for coughing up.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, no, the guy's not gonna last forever.
That's something that sounds like Remy would do.
The guy's not gonna last forever. But audience, yeah,
Yes.
you're stuck with this force of 20 ships coming to your temple. They figure out that if they can conquer your temple, they might be able to coerce you.
Do you wanna? Are we interfering directly?
I
I'm
mean,
not
it
very
depends.
good at indirectly interfering. It's not going great.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on basically, like, do I think my temple people can handle 20 ships?
The crew inside of those ships? Maybe. 20 ships? No.
No. Okay.
They're basically going to try and carpet bomb everything there. So the city that is built around your temple is going to be reduced to rubble. And they're going to try to bury whoever is inside of that temple by just firing until everything collapses.
Yeah, I mean, audience wouldn't let that happen. He would.
Yeah, no. Fisher is asking you, are we
Yeah. No,
directly
we.
interfering?
Yes, we would be.
Okay. Guess I'll go fix my problem then. And then I would manifest who the fisherman that ended up being this Navy/Air Force. Do they have some kind of general?
Yeah. He's not part of the group attacking this. He's on the other island.
Who's in charge of the group?
That's intel easily enough. That's easy enough to get because of where Remy is, and so long as you didn't incarnate yourself, it's easy to just jump between positions. There's one ship. There's one ship that has the leader of this. It's considered to be the flagship of this attack.
I think, to be fair, we should give them a warning. I think I should tell Fisher, I'm like, honestly, all of us should just appear on the ship at the same time and basically be like, hey, we're
That's
gonna
what they're
destroy.
doing.
Yeah, we're gonna destroy your fleet as the three gods. Like, especially if he sees all three of us, if you continue to attack this temple, and basically leave it up to him, because he might not be crazy like the leader, but basically be like, hey, man to man, don't continue these actions. Like, this is not going to end well for you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. If you want to back me up, because
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I think
I've
even
been
if
trying to talk to people, but they haven't been listening. So
yeah,
maybe this is gonna help a little bit. If you noticed, on the original island, there's a wood called Terry's Wood. Terry has managed to get a reputation of being a mythical psychic creature.
yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
actually think
give you-
we should all just show up. I think we should all just show up on this guy's ship and be like, "Listen, my guy, you need to chill."
that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
I was gonna be very blunt and direct with it because I tried the other thing and it didn't work.
Yeah. No, audience would back you. Audience would just appear with
Alright.
you and be like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
you need
we'll
to chill."
wait
as
for
the
a
consequence.
time when he's like alone in his command quarters, just staring at a map or something, and then we'll appear.
I basically explained to him how his king is kind of crazy, and
I would just start with
yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I think we could just
This
start
isn't
with
what-
if he needs more reasoning, I'll give him more reasoning. But I'm gonna start with, hey, I guess we're gods. We don't need to give reasons. Fuck reasons.
I
Tell
You're
would
you're
try-
closer to patrons than gods.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
we have a little more of it. Be like, stop, and see if he just stops.
I would just be like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing, man?
were supposed to be fishing. This doesn't look like fishing.
Yeah.
What's the point here?
If you want a slightly better persuasion than just fishing, audience would be like, look at your own island. Look how it's falling apart under this current leadership. Think back to your own people and your families and what this war is costing them. And basically, what good is coming from this war. If he's a reasonable person.
How
I don't know if
con-
he's a reasonable.
Yeah, that's one thing. How convinced is he of what he's doing? Okay. Oh wow, that's a bad
Actually, you know what? Maybe
combination.
to emphasize that, it's like even as he's like going throughout his own ship, he just keeps finding memorabilia of like friends and family from back on the island. Bonus points if they're people who have been lost.
Okay. Then you just shove Terry in his face because he's become a
Listen to
mythical
the worm.
creature.
Listen to
That's
the
the
worm.
consequence. All right. So the captain of this looks at. Well, he's surprised first. His first reaction is to try and sound the alarm.
He doesn't get to.
Yeah, he doesn't get to. Be honest. We got many hold persons and many other things, plus Terry with telekinesis. There's no way this guy is pulling this alarm.
That's why I said he tries.
I also imagine just audience just going up like shh 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 shh.
Shh.
Hey,
No,
no.
no. No. We don't. We're not doing that.
It takes a moment for him to calm down from this, but he does look at all of you and says, "Isn't it obvious? This island needs to be pacified. They've
What?
been thinking that
Nobody's
everything
been
is
saying
owed to them because they were the first island, because this was...
Who told you that?
What?
Who told you that? Where'd you get that intelligence?
It's the
It's a
king.
dumbass
of
idea.
course. The
Okay,
king,
he's
of
an idiot.
course.
Change your mind.
He's an idiot. Change your mind.
Or we'll change it for you.
That's good
Was
God
like-
speech right there.
I've been
Well,
really
I don't wanna be
trying
an
not to
idiot.
directly interfere and just kind of let you guys go about your business, but you're doing it really dumb.
How can I be sure that
You're
you're
acting like a
actually...
tyrant. All your family would be really disappointed in you.
How can I actually be sure that you're the Fisher?
I. What do you mean? I just materialized in front of you.
Yes, there are magical elements throughout the world. They can absolutely create illusions of you. There's been statues, small statues, made in your honor in the sea.
Small
There's
Audience whispers to you, you should punch him. Illusions can't punch.
I was gonna like. I'm just gonna ask him. What would prove that to you?
You're the saint patron of the sea. Do something to the sea.
The whole reason I gave you guys the arcane engine is because I didn't want to fuck with the sea. Leave the sea alone. Use it. Stop trying to get me to fuck with it.
We did use the arcane engine. You told us
Yeah.
to use it. You told us
fish.
to create better ships, and we have. The
For
other
fish.
island was opposed to it. They were opposed to your will.
What?
You
Was the other
told-
island opposed to it?
No, they weren't. Dude, you got.
I was gonna say I didn't think the other island was opposed to it. I'm not saying this out loud.
Man, this just screams like a European takeover of the Americas. It's like
Yeah.
it's like they're
Guys, we're
not
just
using
chilling.
all this silver, so obviously
You're
if you
aware of what
really
it is.
are the Fisher, you've used your influence to tell us to use the arcane engines because they were more efficient, because you could do more with it. But
Yes,
they
you could.
refused to follow
Fish
your
better.
advice.
They didn't refuse. Arcane engines are hard to build and expensive. And you guys have more money and resources.
They have more minerals than we do. They could simply have done better business, but no, they thought they were owed this.
No, they didn't. You keep saying you know how they think. And I'm telling you you're wrong. They didn't think that.
And
And
how
then
would
you
you know
slaughtered
what they think? You only care about the ocean.
I've been watching you guys make a clusterfuck of everything.
See, this is why it's becoming very difficult to believe in what you're saying, because you're saying that you were wrong.
Okay.
How did you audience, this guy's an idiot. How do I talk to an idiot?
I mean, audience had a lot of
Victor
practice
summons
switching
his
between gods
sword
and
of
not
power.
being a god. I'm like,
Yeah.
the issue, Fisher, is you're still talking to him like you're another mortal. Audience is gonna look over and is like, I'm gonna give you 3 days to change your mind and turn around. I'm gonna give you a chance at redemption. Perhaps you're not a bad man, and neither are many of the men of your ship. If you do not choose to take this course or action and see what's actually going on for yourself, then I will be forced to destroy this entire fleet with merely a wave of my hand.
Now, see, this is telling me that you're growing desperate.
That I'm saying I'll destroy your fleet? Does that seem like desperation? That I would destroy your fleet at a whim? That's not desperation. That's a show of force.
You've never interfered in that way.
I've never
I
needed
know
to.
the history. You've never interfered in that way. Which means you're desperate. You're bluffing. You know we're gonna take your temple in a matter of hours, maybe a day.
We still had an extra storm dust, didn't we? That we didn't use.
I think Remy used it to.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We can manifest as anything we want.
Right now, you are all manifested inside. You'd need to go to sleep, or just jump off the ship and die when you hit the ground or the ocean.
Oh no! What Remy didn't use was the frost. What Remy didn't use was the frost dust, right?
No,
that was the thing we had actually.
It was a storm to create a climate that is a little bit more unpredictable.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying I know we had an extra torch frost storm left, and I couldn't remember what.
So
I mean, if you guys are really wanting to make a point, technically, Raimi has a sliver in his inventory he's been holding on to for God knows how long.
Well, we had more in our inventory. It was more the dust we brought in, because nothing in our inventory. It was we had to decide what we brought in beforehand.
So you see right now what's been used are 9 petrified, 9 wilderness, 1 frost, 1 scorched, and 1 storm. That's what's been used.
Okay, then we should have, because we brought in another frost, storm, and scorch. So we should have 1 frost, 1 scorch. Because we brought in another one. Because I brought in one of them.
How are these ships armed?
A lot of them have arcane ballistas, but they're not top of the line of what you're used to. Recreating the arcane engine was time consuming, and they've learned how to feed the energy into arcane ballistas, but they're not of the same performance as the ones around the castle in Bahanor. They're kind of primitive versions of limited range. They don't hit as hard. Probably if Audience's temple had a barrier generator, they could have withstood this for several days, but
how does de-manifesting and manifesting work?
well,
I assume it's kind of instant.
Well, unspawning yourself, there are 2 ways, like I said. You can either die, or you can go to sleep wishing to go back to your spiritual form. Once you're on the other side, remanifesting is a question of minutes. Slowly your body's going to start taking form. It's going to become more and more tangible.
I mean, audience, you want to just turn into a dragon and take him out?
I don't want to take him out because his men might still be innocent. He's not innocent. That's why I'm giving him 3 days.
Audience, make an insight roll. See if we can glean a little bit about the personality of this guy.
Sure. That is a 23.
23.
Oh, geez. That's insightful for
Audience got a buff to his insight when I switched to redemption. He now has a +5 to insight.
one thing you can easily tell when you're looking at him. He has confidence. He knows he's in a good place, or at least he's convinced he's in the superior place. His conviction is iron strong. It would take a lot to break him. But with such a high insight roll, something starts to manifest in your mind. He's compensating for something. He plays a strong hand, but he's hiding what's behind that hand, and it's not as strong.
The thing is, his audience doesn't super care.
No,
audience is like, this guy's an idiot. I'm giving him a chance to save his men. If he doesn't, that's on him. Also, audience could just destroy the weapons. He doesn't have to destroy the ships and the people. This is not audience from the world. This is audience from, like, having been in here for 500 years as God.
Well, right now to 300 years.
300 years. Audience also is like, this guy's threatening the only thing, not that I actually care about, but, like, one of the main things. It's like, audience has no problem if this guy doesn't listen, just blowing up his weapons or destroying his ships. Audience is not going to treat this guy as he would, like, if he was just in his mortal form back in the thing where he'd actually, like, try and figure this guy out. Because even if this guy thinks he's from a place of strength, audience knows he's from a place of far more strength. And he's kind of like, it's on this guy. Like, if he's not going to believe in the gods when we're appearing and disappearing and, like, doing stuff like that, then that's kind of on him. Unlucky.
All right. So,
who's your second in command?
Who's what?
I'm talking to the guy. Who's your second in command?
Sort of have him on. Why do you even care?
Well, because once I kill you, because you're being an idiot, I'm gonna need to know who to talk to down the line.
Those are all intimidation tactics.
Yes, that's the point. You know
it
what
just
happened?
shows how weak your hand is, actually. So maybe you should just leave this ship. It's probably going to be easier for you.
I stab it.
I respect it. Audience wouldn't stop you. This guy is just like, okay. Like, okay.
I do it like slow. Like I summon. I like stick my hand out, and then I summon my sword so that it's like the point is like touching his chest, and then I just slowly start pushing it in.
You know what? Because your sword is linked to you because of your class, that actually works. Because when you incarnate yourself in this world, all you have is you and powers you may have. So audience doesn't have his object, he doesn't have his armor, he doesn't have magical object, neither do you, neither does Remy. But your sword is linked to you through magic. So okay, I'll give it. I'll give it. Your sword just
You change your mind yet?
To the guy dying on the floor.
He's not dying
Like-
yet. Currently, it's just
like-
a flesh wound.
It's like I hope you learned your lesson.
Yeah. I was just like, well, I could have saved you. I don't know if I've lay on hands back yet. So, unfortunately, I don't know.
Okay. Fisher, I'm gonna let you do whichever you want between the two. Intimidation or persuasion.
I think they're both -1, so obviously this is intimidation.
Okay.
Calling it persuasion would be a stretch.
It's forceful persuasion.
Yes, that is called intimidation. That's a net 20.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, you really can't be more intimidating than sword in your chest.
That's
Yeah,
what I
no.
rolled. It was the only way you could possibly convince him, because that's what I rolled.
Is that why the answers have been so stupid and stubborn?
Audience were just gonna destroy the fleet. So
Greedy people in power gonna be greedy people in power. Fortunately.
I don't know, guys. I think we could save him.
Good roll. Good roll. You completely surprise him. You take him off guard, and he tries to step back for a brief moment and realize that he is half an inch away from the table, so he doesn't have any ways to move back.
I'm done playing the subtle, mysterious patron.
Just like
Took
to
it
see.
too far. Step back.
That's what he answers, is with his hand suddenly up. Just like to see. Unforgiving if you don't pay attention. The only way I can accommodate you, patron of the sea, is if you grant asylum to all of my ship. Because if I go back to the island in defeat without having tried, I'm as good as dead, and so are my men.
I don't think your king will be a problem for long.
Tyrants don't withstand open defiance.
Sorry, I didn't understand what you say.
I just said open mutiny. Tyrants won't withstand that kind of show of force. If you turn around and go back and go, we're not going to do that, it's wrong. It's not why we developed these engines in the first place. What's he going to do?
He has 5 times as many ship nearly built. I have no chance of ever touching the island again if I don't do this. So if you're asking me to not attack this temple, this island needs to be my new home. Can you assure that?
If you defend it, as if it was your home. Hey, sounds like a free Air Force for us. I'm not. No.
Fisher, he looks at you. He's more interested in your answer than his, because right now he believes you are the patron of the sea. So he's sworn loyalty to the ocean. He's a fisherman. He wants your assurance that he'll have a home on this island. Your word right now is worth more than audience's word for him.
As you said, the sea is mine, not the island.
Then will you bless us on the ocean? If the sea is to be our permanent residence, that we can no longer have safe port anywhere, I need an assurance that my men will not die on the sea, abandoned by both islands. If you can't do that, then I'd rather they all die fighting. Would you like to think about this during the break? Because we're late for the break.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to go on the break.
All right.
This is false. All right. See you back in 15 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
And we're back. Hello. And look at that. Fisher is right on time. So, Fisher. Final decision.
You want my blessing?
We have nowhere to go if we don't do this. I'm not gonna order my men to sacrifice themselves for nothing. So, either we have a place where we can live out our lives, or if I have to choose between how my men die, I'm gonna choose that they die in battle. It's really up to you. If you can guarantee us asylum on the island, or if you want to bless our everlasting exile on the ocean.
You guys. I will give you my blessing. The seas will be yours. In return, the seas and the sky is for fishing and trade, transport. War does not happen on the water or in the air. And you will enforce that.
Very well. We will will do as you ask, O Saint Patron of the Sea. And then you just jump off the ship and let yourself die on
I'll basically just use minor illusion to do some magical effect looking thing. To make it look like I did something.
No. You've seen Jorg do this a number of times. Bless something. So let's go off with something like he used to do. And it's a priestly blessing that he did. So there's.
I use minor illusion to just create how high up in the air? Like above sound of the ocean traveling up to us, or
probably high enough. Yeah, the ocean is.
Then I'll just use minor illusion to essentially just make the sound of like a port or like the ocean, like waves crashing, and some seagulls.
Seagulls. That's what I was gonna say. Okay. All right. They accept. You're still muted, audience.
I'm gonna tell Fisher to tell the captain to spend more time with his men. He almost sacrificed their lives for nothing to go sleep with them tonight, so we can steal his quarters, so we don't have to die.
Yeah, I'll just be like, spread the word, and then instead, I will does he have we will. I'll just kind of nod the audience to just like follow my lead, and we will leave and essentially just jump off the ship.
You're gonna jump off the ship?
What?
See, here's the thing. Audience has been alive for a long.
I'm gonna cast fly on us both.
Oh, okay, that works.
And we're good. I mean, not just jump off, but float off.
Cool. Very godly to float off the ships.
All right.
You don't have to cast fly on audience, by the way. Although I was gonna say audience does have wings. Oh no, wait, my object didn't come with me.
Your objects are not there.
Yeah, no, I do need fly.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's more godly this way. If you have to use wings, that's wings.
I mean, wings are kind of godly, but
well, they're angelic.
They're angelic.
All right.
Yeah, and then we'll make a dramatic exit that way.
So the crisis was averted on Audience's temple, and a few months later, the king is believed to have gone so far off of his mind that nothing he says can actually be trusted. Funny enough, it's only once the war is over and that the king announces it to everyone else that he goes back inside, eats a single dried raisin, and chokes and dies on it.
Jason's weak.
See, here's my justification.
I'll also be like, yeah, on it. So the fuck did you do with that sea monster? Because I did just kind of promise them safety. And fuck is that?
Audience doesn't really know. He's like, it's there. I don't really control it.
It roams the ocean between the two
It
islands.
roams the ocean. It's just a natural phenomenon at this point.
You know what? It helps. It helps to have a shared fear between the two islands, so that maybe they'll never take arms against each other again.
Listen, they have flight now. They have other ways to trade. I'm not sure why it keeps coming back after it's killed.
It is the fear of the unknown made manifest. So whenever someone lets, or enough people lets the fear of what is beneath the wave take, it basically summons him.
Listen, your ship should be fine.
Oh, okay.
They have less, because they have, your ship should be fine.
So as long as they believe they're safe, they'll be fine. Cool.
Yeah. Your ship should actually be good on that case.
Perfect.
And if one of their ship disappears, well, you can just say you didn't believe hard enough.
It was unfaithful to you. It's actually it's the punishment for being unfaithful. If it believes that you will keep them safe, the sea monster won't attack it.
Yep.
So the war ends, and there's a lot.
So let's talk about giving one island a bunch of technology that the other doesn't. No,
I didn't do that. I said build better ships, and these guys were better at making the arcane engine, and the other guys didn't. So I didn't give anybody anything.
let's just be careful of what we present to people in the future of upgrading their potential things that could turn into vehicles of war.
Okay, you know what? They wanted me to make a string of islands so that they didn't have to sleep on the water. It doesn't even take a day, and they wanted a pit stop.
Well, it takes more than 20 hours to make the trip on the ocean, so...
Having lived as a lot of experience just living on the water, Fisher was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Don't live on a boat on the water.
Audience shrugged. He's like, I don't know, man. People are weird. I've now lived 5 times longer than I should have. And of what my normal Dragonborn lifespan is. I don't know what to say.
Raimi just sort of makes a whistling sound as he floats by.
I don't know, man. People are weird.
So
lived experience.
It takes a little bit of time.
It's not an Aarakocra or Torgal.
More than what it was when I came in here.
It takes a little bit of time, but eventually life goes back to normal. There's a lot of rebuilding to do, and of course there's still an element of distrust between the two islands for a considerable amount of time. On the subject of Terry, Fisher, Terry is different. You just give him the rule of don't incarnate yourself and you can do whatever you want. Well, of course, he doesn't 100% follow it, but he does follow it 90% of the time. But it quickly becomes apparent when you watch him that his species is long-lived. And it has been that way for so long that it is ingrained in who he is. Because the moment you leave him alone, he starts taking everything very slowly. He has a patience that would drive most people insane. He just starts to watch, well, perceive. He went into a town and started just witnessing what everyone was doing in the town square. And he stayed there for a full week without moving, just observing what people were doing. He followed a bunny all the way to its home. He followed a butterfly from one field to the other. He watched the full life of a mouse from birth to death. He did the same thing with a human and with a birch tree. Never stopped observing it. He just stayed there. You think that he even watched grass grow for a full year? He experimented a little bit, which is why there is a wood called Terry's Wood. Because he decided at one point to try and plant an acorn. And he kept doing that until the acorn took. And he kept doing that until a bird started living in the tree, and his poop, filled with seeds, gave birth to more trees. And 100 years later, there was a forest. He just watches all the time. Everyone. You
Hey, look,
see
your son
him.
got a hobby.
You see him from time to time floating by in a town, in a city, in a forest. You start hearing rumors that you don't like, that some people actually saw him floating inside of a forest or inside of a village, meaning that he did take corporeal form. And eventually those rumors become so prominent that someone says, I don't know, I don't think that the creature is called Terry. I think they're Terrys. There couldn't be every places at once like this. That's just too many of them. That's probably why every time you look at him, you hear, I am Terry. It's probably just him saying that his species are Terry. Okay. Apparently his object still works in here. The shawl that you gave him, apparently it still works and translates.
Hell yeah. I think I would be very relaxed in enforcing that, and really just kind of let him, unless he like really starts messing with stuff in a way that seems dangerous to me. I think I would really just kind of let him explore however he wants. And just kind of be there for a lot of it too.
Okay.
Like, fishers also definitely know you can't have a thing like Sentry Rest and not be patient. Otherwise, you would go insane. So I think he does just kind of hang out and watch stuff with him a lot.
Well, you probably skipped over watching grass grow for a year, but
Yeah.
like I said, he does try a few experiments. At one point, he tries talking to a little girl that's lost in the wood. He helps her home. Then she keeps coming back into the woods, day after day after day. She lives nearby. It's on the first island, just next to Terry's Wood. Sycamore. That's the name of the village that she lives in. And he remained friend with her, and kept talking to her for 60 years until she died of natural causes. Well, you think. It's always difficult sometimes knowing if it's natural or not with humans. So, it's sort of an odd moment because to that little girl, Terry was her best friend, was her pet best friend. But when she died, the way that Terry was talking to you about her, he was talking to you about having lost his pet best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, whenever someone sees him in the wood, he's floating. That doesn't help a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Terry. That's what he does. He does it on Boat Island. But he seems to prefer the first island. Probably the one that you learn to live the most with is Ohunek. 1,000 years is a long time. There are moments where you drive each other insane. Small disagreement becomes bigger and bigger, and then you stop talking to one another for a full year, and then you eventually realize that that was stupid, and you start talking to one another again. You follow the life of so many people, completely invested in what you're doing, but still, after the first 200 years, audience, your temple had a life of its own. It was recruiting people on its own, testing people on its own. So there were moments where you weren't needed anymore. People still prayed to you, but after 500 years, you realized that you didn't have a lot to do anymore.
No, just gentle corrections if they were going off the path.
Yeah, but that's just it. Because they pray to you when you're in spiritual form, you'll hear them. So you start skipping years. In the beginning, it's just a few months. You leave, you come back. Then you skip a full year. Some people inside of the island still pray to you. Still pray to you, Fisher. Still pray to you, Remy. But you've managed to accomplish your goals, and time is getting long. You start forgetting the world before, the quests you were on, what made you you. That's when Ohunek comes in, as if he was waiting for this. And he helps you, all of you. forces you to take corporeal form. Ground yourself amongst the people. Remind you of what you built, why you built it. Force you to remember the past, what came before all of this. And he does it over and over and over again as the centuries keeps moving forward. You're forced to admit that without him, you would have all gone insane and back and then insane again. He watched over you every single day. And every time you wondered what you were doing, he was there, bringing you back to reality, reminding you of everything, keeping the memories of what happened before you were here fresh. After 700 years, audience, there's a difficult moment on your temple. Dark forces have taken roots on the island, and they aim to take your temple, because the greater the light, the deeper the shadows. And the fight was difficult. It didn't belong to an army, it didn't belong to anyone. It's just a force of darkness, the remnant of the religion you started, launched a full-scale assault on your temple. They tried to snuff the light. They managed to push inside of the city, to break the temple's gate, push your guardians all the way into the last chamber. But they failed. But it was so close. Your temple rebuilt. Your army slowly became strong again. But it became a lesson in vigilance for your followers. If you don't pay attention, darkness always find roots. After 800 years, something you did not expect happens within this world. Now, you had two islands, and it did take a few hundred years, but relationship between the two islands went back to normal. A new sense of belonging to a single group emerged. And they started the first ever large-scale endeavor of your world. So many people have been born. The population of both islands exploded over the last 800 years. They need more place. So, the southern island started mass producing arcane engines, and the northern island started to train ocean priests under the guidance of the fishermen. And after a while, everything was launched into the sea. The priests scooped up a piece of land from the bottom of the ocean and forced it up. Arcane engines were added to it, and a floating island was created. You can see it.
Are these people becoming more advanced than like our old island chain? Like, what's the thing?
No,
Our island chain is about 1,000 years old.
Yeah, that's fair. Audience,
guys
just
Have a
slowly.
almost wipes them out.
Audience just going to eventually be like, we need to write it. We can become rich, guys. Let's write down some of these ideas for our stuff. And I'm kidding.
Just paying attention.
well, here's the thing. The creation myth of your world sort of implies that when the original landmass crashed, you were more advanced in arcane knowledge than you are right now. There's been a spiral downward for a while, and then stabilization, and it started going up again. Now, they haven't reached the same place, but they tried something that on your world no one dared to try. To dredge up a piece of land and make it fly using arcane engines. Because if too many engines fail, the island falls from the sky. But since they knew that they wanted to do this, they placed so many engines inside of the rocks of this island that they made sure that even if a third of all of the engines were to fail, the island would still be able to fly. And so they gave themselves enough time to repair should anything happen. Something that is possible where you're from, but no one trusts one another well enough to try it. And Fisher, you're forced to say that, it's kind of thanks to your decision to give them the arcane engine. Because it is the fishermen who had this idea. It is the fishermen who committed these resources, who found this place. Though your decision sparked a war, in the end, it created an island that floats. Unfortunately, some of your fears also came true, because with that success, some people tried to do the same thing with fewer engines. And the clouds that you can actually see on the map right now are suspected small pirate islands flying above, trying to make a living. But that is a small disappointment compared to the achievement that they did because of your decision. They built a flying island. And as you reach the end of your 1,000 years, you can proudly say that on this island, your island, Fisher, an island that the fishermen keeps going back to, that they consider a headquarter because it moves over the ocean. There are thousands of people that lives there. Audience has the original island. Remy has the second island. And though your island may be the smallest, it is entirely made by your followers. When the
Not
end...
about the size of your island, it's how it was made.
When you reach the end of the 1,000 years, there is a huge celebration because the people at your temple audience know that the time is coming. It's almost ready. The sword feels different. It hums with power. And they know every time you enter the temple because the sword starts reacting. Even when you're in spiritual form. And as the last few months go by, there is an effervescence in this city, the city of Dragonborns. Everyone is waiting for you. Everyone is preparing for this. The completion of their purpose. Well, their primary purpose. How do you manifest yourself on this last day? Oh, you managed over the 1,000 years to reconnect with a god.
I assumed. It's a long time. I think audience would have came to terms with stuff over 1,000 years.
You got impatient at year 5 and picked one.
Well, we'll say, you know what? We'll say audience spent a couple. We'll say audience at least spent one lifetime figuring it out. He didn't figure it out in his first lifetime. He had to wait till the second one at least. we got there in the second lifetime though, so a couple hundred years in.
Okay.
Audience, I think, would manifest himself again. Oh, this is so tempting. It's like audience wants himself just as himself, but he might never get this opportunity again. So I think audience would actually, because he knows that these people of this world would connect with this because of where they originally came from and probably be a part of their lore. I think audience would try and manifest himself, at least initially, as like a white radiant dragon, similar to like that, because this is his only chance he's probably ever going to get to actually manifest himself as a dragon. And then as he walks into the city, he'd probably shrink back down into like his form of audience. But he'd at least get that 10 to 20 minutes of actually being a dragon. He's like, you know what? I'm never getting this chance again. I'm going for it.
Because of the massive size of what you're trying to do, you literally have to use one of the remaining divine dust that you have, just so that you can manifest this huge form of a divine dragon landing. But you know, you still have 3, so that's okay. You use another one and give yourself this ability when you're in here. You can't help but wonder, now that I've used this, does it mean that every time I come back here, I'll be able to be a divine dragon? Well, no.
Who knows?
What about the rest of you? Do you do this celebration with audience?
I mean, they're kind of in there to support him. So I feel like it'll be weird if Raimi didn't try to be supportive, literally at its climax.
I'd definitely invite you guys also, because I'd be like, hey, we're also going to leave at the end of the celebration. So
Yeah.
we're going to go back. Get Terry over. Get Ornak over. Even. Get everyone over. All the gods manifest in one place for one final time.
Well, of course, there are other people in this island chain do worship other gods.
Yeah.
When you're more like saint patrons, so they actually do worship different gods. But there is a dominance of god of lights, god of the ocean, and god of nature.
I guess all the saint patrons reappear in one place, one final time.
Yeah, you got light, you got ocean, and instead of nature, you got mischief. Oh, Arunak. Arunak represents nature.
Got nature.
And Terry represent the horror from the deep.
I think at this point Terry's just a mythical feature, unless he's about turned evil as a deer, which is like a mythical creature.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't try to take over anything. He watched so many things and learned so much, and you even saw a change in the way that he acts and reacts. Started understanding more about people and about the weirdness of many things. Well, weirdness according to him.
In 1,000 years, when he manifested himself, did he get any bigger, or did he keep his original size?
Because the reference is his body outside, he won't naturally grow, and he didn't feel like he needed to, so he always stayed himself.
Okay.
Well, except this one time. Someone tried to scare his pet friend. Scared the life out of the poor guy. You're not sure what the guy saw, but he never talked again. So
Guys, that was not mischief.
I have seen the void.
Whimsical at all.
Yeah. I have seen the void, and the void stared back.
I accidentally fucked with the void's friend.
But other than that, all of the myths of Terry are relatively harmless. He's this weird creature that people keep seeing at the edge of forests, and sometime when they try to reach the spirits, they get Terry instead. And he just says, "Go home."
Wrong forest. Go away, I'm trying to watch grass.
Go away.
You stepped on my grass.
It's just grass. You stepped on my grass. I'm sorry. Alright, so you all materialize yourself. Everyone was sort of expecting audience, but hoping for the others, because you've been seen on several occasions throughout 1,000 years, traveling together, doing stuff together. Arunak made sure that you at least went on a few adventure as a group, so that you kept the memories of what it was to be a group.
In other words, not going through the same syndrome that every video game protagonist goes through when they go from the original to its sequel. It's like, man, you lost all your armor and weapons, and you forgot how to do all the cool stuff from your last adventure. You're level 1.
Damn.
Mentally, we're level 20. Physically, we're level... No.
Well, that's going to tie up to the last element of this. But thanks to Arunak, you didn't have to make saving throws. to see how you withstood all of this, because he was there with you all along. If you hadn't brought him with you, I would have made you make at least one save every 100 years. But because he was here, and because he knows what it is to live for thousands of years, he literally kept you sane. Grounded. So the crowd cheers as audience arrives and watch in awe as he goes from a large dragon to a normal dragonborn. Fisher and Remy just
Amy manifests outside, like manifests from audience's shadow.
What about you, Fisher? You just walk in.
Yeah. No, I walk out of the fountain in the town square.
Yeah, okay. Interesting show.
Fishing rod in hand.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Fisher, because you spent a little bit of time with your fishermen, you decided to give at one point another chance at being a human, but there was a problem. That human was seasick, so it lasted a few hours, and then you said,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you just
There
jumped off.
were a few instances over the years where I tried again at being a biological being, and every time it was like get sick, accidentally starved, just dumb shit,
Accidentally starved.
up to dying, and being
It's
like,
like,
well, that's
why? It's like after the fourth time you had diarrhea, just like, why do humans spend so much time on this
Why
toilet
do you
thing?
always have to be drinking water if the water makes you sick?
For some reason, every time Fisher attempted to be a human, audience would try and find the spiciest food around and offer it to him.
Unfortunately, Fisher, you died quite a few times because you were sick of this shit. So you just looked at everyone. You look at the ocean. I'm not emptying my bowels one more time. See ya, guys. I know that the sea is violent right now. That's the point. Whee!
Fisher doing the thing of actually just walking into the ocean.
Yeah,
Right?
the shit sucks, guys. Respect.
Respect.
Don't know how you put up with it, but
You got a priest looking at you during one of your lives and says, "I'm sorry, my son. You probably drank some bad water. You have dysentery right now."
again,
No!
I'd like to also think that one time during this 1,000 years, audience went, what if we try the other way? And he tried to put himself out as a construct, but it was a really poorly made because he didn't know how to actually visualize a construct. So it had
Essentially,
so many. It was like wood and metal, just kind of thrown together.
move well.
For some reason, it's like everybody's getting really confused because there were like two manifestations of a Fisher just at any point.
Well, I think
Because
the
Ra-
outward side would probably look like Fisher, but the inward part would be all fucked up from audience.
Oh no, I'm talking about Raimi specifically
Oh,
because
Raimi
that would be the construct that he knows the best. So
Yeah, that makes
it's not like he can get creative with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So at least once, Remy, you were audience. At least once, you were Fisher. At least once you were Terry. That one was weird.
I definitely tried that once, but then realized it didn't make him think like him.
You didn't
really-
gain supreme intelligence,
It didn't work.
and you remember that Terry is blind.
Yeah, just a blind worm. But, oh, this is
Immediately got eaten by a bird.
yeah,
Just
without
like
magic. This doesn't really work.
no defense mechanisms.
It's the meme of the eagle that just swoops down and.
Yeah.
So audience was there, so he said Terry, and then he says Terry. He's, oh, Fisher.
Fisher. One time you had Remy appear in you, except he talked normal, and that tricked you off. That was actually audience.
So essentially, you all tried to be each other at least once.
Learned that we couldn't do it. Moved on.
Well, I think Ravi probably would have done it more than once as audience, but just kind of, enjoy that experience for what all it was worth.
Yeah.
You transform into an audience, but you can't actually talk. So, Remy, that was a good job. You made yourself say this into as audience.
All the lines audience has ever said to you. I name you.
Yeah. Like, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me so hard.
Yeah, that was a sailor in Ravensport actually that said that.
Gotta get it from somewhere.
So, back to the audience. Everyone is cheering. Everyone is in effervescence. It's a huge festival. You're here to take the sword. There are even people from every island that actually just came because they were curious. They know that it's more of a religious celebration, but you've had your impact on the entire islands. So probably those whose past were the most influenced also decided to come in and share and know a bit more. So you walk down this aisle leading to the temple. You go into the temple. Your followers are all there, and they want nothing more than to please you at this point because we're almost there. They ask you, what's next? What's going to happen now?
I'll say.
Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
basically be like, this has gone far past just protecting a simple object, no matter how holy it may be. Remember what you guys have learned over your lives, over the years, what this temple, what this city has become. One that protects the people, one that carries their voices, one that helps resolve resolutions that cannot be resolved easy. Remember this, and you will always have a purpose here.
We will do our best in your absence, but please visit us at least a few times in the future.
We will visit times are needed.
And
Actually, with time stop, no time might pass at all. But
yeah,
a
but
little.
that's really
What?
up to you to tell them that.
I won't actually tell them that. I'll be like, don't worry, we'll.
Well, remember to
We'll
tell
keep-
us all of the adventures that you went through and the evil that you pushed back. such a weapon is definitely there because you have something powerful to beat. So
Yes. Obviously say, the Dark Force is that attacked us many years ago. The Great War that almost destroyed the city. Their god still remains, and I must go deal with him.
well then, my lord, the sword is yours.
Audience will go and claim what is hopefully now a pure holy avenger.
It is labeled in the ND Beyond as a holy avenger of pure light, because I added one element to the sword.
All right, I will go find it.
All of the bonuses
Oh.
that it has. All of the bonus that it has, normally it only applies them on Fiend and Undead, but this sword also applies them against evil.
Okay. Holy
Holy Avenger of Pure Light.
Holy Avenger of Pure Light. I see it.
I placed it as a long sword because D&D Beyond forces me to choose, but if you want this to be a different type of sword, I can change it.
Okay. I know it was originally a great sword, so I don't know if it's Frank,
Alright, perfect.
but
I'll go change it.
it could be a long sword. But I know originally it was a great sword.
Alright, would you rather it be a great sword?
I think it's kind of cooler if it's a great sword than a long sword. It has a certain presence. If I really need to, we can also always add the other thing of its size. But
Yeah, that's gonna...
the holy Avenger of Pure Light, just make it into a dagger.
That's not gonna be confusing at all.
No.
Alright, let's change that element to great sword.
It's like I swear my sword isn't always this small.
Great sword. Here we go. Save
You just start beating it in
change.
front of your enemies until it gets bigger.
And all you had to do was rub it. Okay, I think it's saved. Can I
Your
have
sword
confirmation?
stays
Alright, good.
more than 4 hours.
All right.
Medical attention.
It's been
Oh,
changed.
let me delete.
I just changed one property. That's it. I just changed the property of the type of sword.
Oh, is it not? I guess maybe I have to reload D&D Beyond. It still shows as a longsword to me, but maybe.
Really? Okay.
I mean, it might take time to
Oh, maybe.
update.
Update. Generally, you can't like delete versions, so there might just be a new version.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, if-
that might be it. Here, I'll go look again. It's fine. Cool.
all right.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
fine.
it's in the same way where like they still have like all of the legacy material for items in
Oh.
case people were still using them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Well, you know what? Just leave it. Now I'll have the longsword and the greatsword in case we ever need it to be a longsword. But I think we'll say it's a greatsword.
Just don't forget which one you're using.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have it. It hums with power. It has a presence. It has depth. And you know that now that you have it, there's definitely a Death Knight that's gonna keep following you for the rest of your life. Yay!
That's okay. he can't use it anymore. So, sucks to be him. He has to now go through the opposite purification process.
Though in fairness, he could also probably live out 1,000 of years. Well, live.
Yeah.
But also, now that I've taken away his weapon that tied him, there's a chance I could try and redeem him. I am now a paladin of redemption.
After all, probably, audience, after your attempt at redeeming all of those people, that's what truly pushed you into the hands of that god, as well as respect you into. So, you have the sword. You celebrate with everyone until the first hours of the next day. Everyone keeps asking you what evil you're going to smite with such a weapon. What adventures do you have in front of you?
We tell the stories.
Because after 1,000 years, there is no one from the original group that still lives on this island. Even elves have had an entire generation live and die. So right now, no one from Bahanor lives. It is all their children and children's of children's. You have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people living here. All thanks to what you did. All thanks to your decisions. All of them. Hey, Remy stopped the war by choking someone. It's not small.
Got him.
So, is there anything you want to do between yourselves as you're about to all go to sleep and wake up permanently? I mean, you've lived 1,000 years. You probably learned more about each other than anything you could possibly have. Remy, you are the oldest Kenku ever, period.
I'd probably get everyone together. I'd be like, I know it's going to be a change when we go back. It's going to be hard to, probably initially, a little bit hard to initially readjust back to what we were doing. Although I'll look over at Ornak, he has kept us focused on the mission, but remember, this has been a blessing as well. We've gained a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge of what it's like to live, in a world in these 1,000 years. And while we may lose some of the powers we had in here, we still have the knowledge, and perhaps we'll have a better understanding of how to move forward, of how to save our world outside of this gem.
Man, what were we even doing?
Elgonak looks at you again. We just did that 10 years ago.
Vaguely, but like immediately.
We didn't have plans. I need to go.
Cool.
Audience will kind of sigh and go, Unfortunately, I need to deal with a very impatient assassin who's been waiting for months and months now of me to help me break into the church. It's going to be a little bit harder now, but I can't keep putting him off, or I'm sure there are going to be repercussions. But at least I now have a better understanding and direction of where this religion has kind of gone and when it takes place. And I'd also like to get, because he promised me the papers of all the information of kind of where they're located and what they're up to, and I'd like to gain those for myself anyway before moving forward. I've seen how to redeem this religion in this world, although it took a while. I can at least perhaps help the one out there get started, although I recognize now that until the god or the presence of the god or dragon is removed, it should be nigh on impossible to redeem them. So that will be the first priority.
Alright. I'm down for a infiltration stealth mission.
Who knows? Perhaps they'll have a really expensive gem hidden in that on the island.
A religion like yours, they got money.
Yeah. I'll be like, we're still looking for that gem to help us go back to the island and potentially break the seal of the wizard's magic so that we can actually be able to handle him.
Mm-hmm.
What was the price of the gem? It was like 250. No, I wrote it down. Some large amount that I needed to get to.
It's a geode of several thousand gold.
Yeah. I'll tell them that we also maybe, if we break in, could use that as an opportunity to, if their treasury has anything like that, perhaps knock that one out as well. Although their treasury may be well guarded as well, so we'll see how easy it is. Remember, guys, when we die out there. Can't just reincarnate.
Yeah.
When he says this, Fisher, your mind sort of, oh yeah, when we die, we die. Don't I have someone who wants to kill me? Fortunately, Fisher, you've had time to look at how Dragonborn lives, because you were told to ask audience about how to deal with core. So you looked at how Dragonborn lives. You have a better understanding of that warrior mindset, that warrior culture of be useful or go away.
Mm-hmm.
So if there are anything that you want to clarify about what you might have learned that could help you with core, I'll send it to you.
Actually, I have to go back and find that episode because I'm not sure it was a great sword. I'm sorry to say that. I think it might have been a glaive, but I'll go back and find the episode.
It was longer than a great sword. It was a great sword that he was using as a polearm.
He was using it as a polearm. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't exactly remember what it was, but that's fine. We just keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because technically, in D&D 5th edition, when they say great sword, they're showing us a two-handed long sword and not an actual great sword. Actual great swords are closer to pole arms than swords in the way that you use them.
Okay, that makes sense.
What would have been defined as like a full blade from 3rd edition.
From 3rd edition, yeah. Okay, that if you remember, that's good. I just couldn't remember if it was an actual great sword used as a polearm or if it was like a polearm.
No, yeah, it was a sword.
Okay.
All right. So, one last look around the room, and you all go to sleep. Unless, Remy, you want to add something.
Oh no, Raimi just realized that even though he'll still be right on time, that he's also 1,000 years overdue on writing a letter that he kind of made his guild owe a favor. For a good reason, but
Yeah. All right. Terry also looks at all of you. And he can only talk to one of you at a time, but he gives you all the same message. It blares in your mind. Thank you. Thank you for everything you have tried to teach me while we were here. I have learned so much about how you all live. In here, so outside. Your existence are different than mine on so many levels. I hope I will be useful when we come back. Whatever happens, remember that here you were useful, you helped, and as you helped, they
That's not
helped.
what I said.
What?
Sorry, no, keep going. Keep going.
Okay. And as you helped them build their world, they helped you rebuild yours. All right. Now, on to saving a greater world. Algonac looks at all of you and said, "Yep. Well, fortunately for me, I don't need to fall asleep." And he grabs the acorn and breaks it. Slowly, he starts petrifying, and so he's the first one to escape this place.
escape.
Escape.
Slowly, you all fall asleep. You all de-incarnate. You find yourself in this space where you exist as pure energy, pure light. And you all agree that it is time to go back. And slowly, you fade away from this world and back into the room where you were when all of this started. Not only that, but when you started, the last thing you heard from your world was this wizard saying, "All right, 1, 2, 3." And when you wake up, you hear 4,
4.
5. Initially, it is a bit jarring. You are confused. The world around you feels a bit sluggish for a brief moment. You're not sure about what you're hearing. Then everything comes back into focus, one drop at a time, just like waking up from a dream. Slowly, the dream becomes less tangible, and the reality around you grows in strength. But at least this time, unlike a dream, you can hold on to all of those memories. Most of them are intact. All of the people you influenced, all the people that you got to know, the friends that you literally watch being born, grow old, die. All of their memories they're still there inside of you. You remember them, their names, their face, but your reality becomes dominant. And you remember what you need to do right now, where you are, where you were, what happened recently, what needs to happen in the future. So this is going to be it for tonight, as you all wake up from this dream. 1,000 years have passed in the gem. Your body is exactly as it was, but your mind is different. I debated this for quite some time, but you decided to go in there for 1,000 years. You accomplish things, great things. So, I didn't plan for this, but it feels like it is appropriate. I'm leveling all of you.
Okay.
Oh, hell
You all gain 1 level, and as a bonus, you all get 1 stat increase.
Okay.
So, what I'm giving you as a choice is you can either go with the standard +2 stats, and either you +1 and 2 or +2 and 1. Or I am also giving you the possibility to take a feat so long as it has a bonus in either intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
Intelligence was more charisma. Okay.
It is something you will most likely have practiced while you are in there, if you decide that. So, that is what you gain from this. A level and either stat increase or a feat, so long as the feat has a bonus included in it as an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma stat.
Okay. Sweet.
Yep.
No, it's fine. I was gonna ask, what is my hit is all messed up on my stats. Does anyone know what it should be for a +3 weapon?
What do you mean?
It's wrong when I put it in. I don't think it's supposed to be this high. I don't think it's supposed to be a +16 to hit. I think it's at that. Is it? Should it be +13? What are your guys' standard weapons at like +2? I'm just trying to figure out because I know my AC was.
Like, what is your current strength score?
Strength is +5.
Okay, so then it should be a 13.
13, that's what I thought. Okay. I was like, it's off. I think it should be plus... Okay, so this should be...
It has a...
Yeah.
Draken might have...
No,
It might have an extra +3 that it's tacking on.
Yeah,
somehow.
it is, because it should be... It should not also be 2d6 +11. It should be 2d6 +8.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I fixed it. Then this should be a... The steel blast blade was also wrong. My stats got like... Okay. What?
Did I make a mistake somewhere?
No, I fixed it. It was...
Okay.
A lot of my stats have been... Because I like had to customize override my health because my health got messed up because of the fact that we were rolling a long time ago, and then somehow my other stuff got customized as well. Because my AC also didn't drop. I had to go back in when I was unequipping my shield because now if I'm gonna use the Holy Avenger on the shield, so my AC should be 22 now, which is correct. But I just had to adjust some stuff, so I was just double checking to make sure all my numbers are correct.
Okay.
Which they now are. So. Yeah, you can hit me again. I'm down to 22 AC. It was funny because you made it a longsword. I'm like, honestly, it's probably better as a longsword, but I think it's cooler as a greatsword. So we're because I can still use my shield, but I'm like, so we'll go with the greatsword.
Okay. All right. Would you like to have in Discord the map of your island as it is right now?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Also, for leveling up, if
This
you
file
were
looks
gonna add a
translated.
feat, how would you add an extra feat to a
Oh.
character?
I believe just
If
at
you-
the bottom of features and traits. There should
Yeah,
be
if you actually just go to feats in your tabs and you go to manage feats, you can just add one of the feats that show up in the list.
Yeah.
Oh, if you go to, okay, so like on your character sheet, if you go to
Yeah, like on your character sheet, not like in the edit character sheet where you do all the leveling up and stuff like that. It's just on your
Yeah.
character sheet.
me short rest share campaign. Is it an no? Manage notes, features and traits, feats. Got it. Manage feats. I see. You can add an extra feat.
Okay, now is it good? Yes, it is. All right. There you go. This is your new island. Islands.
7. Nice.
Nice.
Nope.
That's pretty cool. I'll take the floating island, the other island. It has more cities now. Cities.
Oh yes. 1,000 years. I figured that it should grow at least.
And then we got the little clouds. Oh yeah, that's where all the pirate islands are.
Yep.
Can we get a sea monster? No, I'm kidding. You don't get a sea monster.
I can, but I'll have to do it in the software, not just like that.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I don't need it. Only if you want to add like a little image of a sea monster in the ocean.
Yeah, I really don't mind. I'll look at what the monsters Wonder Draft has and see if I can add something. Right.
All right. Sweet. Did we end the stream? Are we still on the stream? But
No. We're still on the stream. I was
okay.
just about to end it right now.
Okay, let's do that before I...
All right, so campfire sound, because. All right, so thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for watching. Hope you had pleasant whatever part of the day it is, wherever you are in the world. Hope you found whatever it was you were looking for. If you want to help, remember, we got Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, a link below for donations. Only donate if you can afford it. Or you can just spread the word of the channel. Everything helps. Yeah, schedule. If you're watching this on Wednesday, that means you watched it live. If you're watching this on Friday, it means you watched it as a rebroadcast. And in between the two, we got map making and world building with me. Hopefully, I'll have slept enough tomorrow so that I won't be as tired as last week. And that's everything I can possibly say. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.
Any